How to get out of debt. Now, this is not my method that I want to share with you guys. This is from a gentleman that I don't always agree with, who is Dave Ramsey. Dave gives financial advice and has written a bunch of books. And I think he has kind of an old school picture on how to fix a lot of stuff and doesn't really understand how limited the finances are of people in the younger generations right now with how bad inflation is. However, I will say that I took one thing from his method that I think is very effective in eliminating debt. So several years ago, I had poor credit and bad debt because of some financial decisions that I made. And in order to fix the credit, I took some tips from watching different YouTube videos, and it's really improved over the last couple of years. But had I not had this method, I would have made the same mistake that a lot of people make when it comes to fixing your debt. So let me talk you through this and I'll show you what it is. So the debt snowball, and I don't know if Dave came up with this, it's not mine, and I don't know if it's Dave's, but I'm gonna give him credit because that's who I heard it from and learned it from. So the debt snowball method is sit down with a piece of paper and write out every single debt that you have that's not a monthly payment. So you're not talking about your water bill or your cell phone bill or that type of stuff. List every single debt, and most people will have a lot more smaller debts than this, but this is just an example. And now you're gonna go a little bit below that, leave a little space. You're gonna write the debts from very smallest to very largest. And I know that people will have some contradiction with this video, arguing about interest and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna get there. But the point of this video is to keep it very simple for people that don't know how to get out of debt and haven't learned this information, because it was new to me, guys, when I learned it. So I wanna share it with you. So you're gonna list your debts from absolutely smallest to absolutely largest. Anything that's not just a regular payment that you owe money on. Now, the mistake that most people make is they'll make the minimum payments for all these, and then they'll throw some extra money each month, as much as they can, into all of the different things to try to start to pay stuff down. Or they'll put it, for instance, on their mortgage, their student loans, that kind of stuff. What that will do is you'll never be out from under any of it. So what you do instead is you're gonna make the minimum payment that you have to make onto all of your debts, every single one, the minimum. Then you're gonna take any extra money that you have and you're gonna apply all of it to the smallest debt at the top of the list. So in this example, I wrote Nordstrom's cards. You had to get school clothes for your kids or something. It was $250 you put on that card. So any extra money you have that month, you have $100 extra that month, and I know that things are tight and not everybody has extra money every month, or they're really struggling just to pay the bills they have. But I'm using this example to try to help. You're gonna take any extra money you have that month, let's say it's $100 for the next 3 months, and you're gonna pay it towards that Nordstrom's card after you've made the minimum payments for all these other things. And what that will do is after 3 months of that, you'll notice that the Nordstrom card no longer exists whatsoever. So you're not having to make that minimum payment anymore. So you're gonna be able to cross the Nordstrom's card out. Then you're gonna go to the next thing on your list that's the smallest payment. In this case, $500 that you had to borrow from your dad to fix your car when it broke down on the way to work one day, or whoever. And you're gonna pay off that debt with any extra money every month. Now, what you'll start to notice is if you do this for anywhere from 6 months to 2 years, you'll only really have 1 or 2 big debts left. And it's very effective of just checking stuff off and getting rid of it. And the other thing that this starts to do, once you start to pay these debts and cross them off, is you get some relief. You're like, oh my gosh, now I have only 5 debts left, or I only have 3 debts left, or I only have 1 big debt left. And it feels very good psychologically to cross something off and just completely get it off your plate and go, don't owe them money anymore. And what this also does is the breathing room that this gives you is this teaches you to go, okay, you know what? Now next time I'm gonna buy a car, I'm gonna save this much money ahead to be able to knock it out so that the down payment or the payment is way lower. I'm gonna make a bigger down payment, or I'm gonna save all of it up ahead so that to buy these things before I pay for them. And anything that you don't absolutely need, you'll start to develop this discipline where you don't buy it because it feels so good to get out of debt. So this is not a perfect method. People will argue with this because they'll say, well, you should pay the thing with the most interest first because then you don't have to pay the interest on it. I completely get all of that. But most people don't even have any method or financial knowledge to get out of debt. They're just drowning and they don't know what to do. So this was a very effective method for me. I want to share it with you guys. I only have a couple of big debts left that I'm paying on now, and is able to get rid of most of my small ones by using this method. Will things come up? Absolutely. Will your car break down? Yeah. Will your kid need something? Yeah. Will, you know, your significant other randomly lose their job and get laid off. It happens. All of this stuff happens to all of us. But the amount of bills that you have coming in every month, if you can check them off and get them off your back and get away from them, you'll feel much better for it. So I highly recommend this method. They call it the debt snowball for getting rid of your debt. If you've used this before and it was effective for you, let me know. If you think you have a better method, comment on it and share it with us so we can all learn about it. Let me know, guys. I'll see you in the next one.